welcome everybody to Concealed Taco Dudes, episode 137. Hope everybody had a happy Father's Day.
Who didn't?
Did you ever get out of the doghouse for your 223 bolt action that your wife didn't know that you bought?
I don't know if she's forgotten about it or not, but she's not mad at me anymore, at least.
Okay, so either forgotten or forgiven, one or both.
Or storing it for later.
Yeah. It's like, remember when you bought that gun?
She'll remind me when I need to get something for her.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, today we have me, Taco.
Jason with Concealment Solutions.
And Evan, the camera guy.
The camera guy.
The camera guy for the non-camera podcast. Yeah, so Evan helps out with my YouTube channel, the Full.Lead.Taco YouTube channel. And so, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hit sponsors today real fast.
Okay. So, NOE Bullet Molds at noebulletmolds.com. They make bullet molds.
The best.
And they're really, really good.
And they make steel ones and aluminum ones and brass ones.
Yes.
And they also, if you're local, they sell powders, reloading powders, and they have some in stock.
Yep. So go check them out and use...
and they have the taco bullets for sale.
Right.
Yeah, the 300 blackout, 225 grain taco bullets. So
those are powder coated or are they?
Yeah, they're coated cast, like, well, I don't know.
They do some sort of coating.
Yeah, it's like coated. Yeah, so...
Cool.
Sized, ready to shoot.
So go check them out. Use the code FLT001. You'll save 10% off your entire order. Black Ice Coatings at blackicecoatings.com. The best gun finishes around. Their Teflon or their black ice coating is incredible. You hear us talk about it all the time because it is awesome.
Yeah. You know, I need to call Lee up and just say, hey, like, what's the turnaround time for, dropping the gun off and having it coated? Because I want to do my Savage Hog Hunter, and I'm going to do it in the Flying Pigs.
Right.
Yeah. But I need that gun for some Zinc 308 testing that we're going to do, which would be... And anyways, I need it, but I'm going to be gone, for the next little bit.
You should drop it off while you're gone.
That's what I'm saying. Drop it off before I leave, and then, then I won't miss it as bad. But yeah, I've been shooting a lot of 308 lately. I don't know why. It's fun. I don't know.
Okay.
It's retro.
Yeah.
It's classic.
It's enough recoil to enjoy, but not enough to hurt.
Yeah.
Nice. So check out Black Ice Coatings at blackicecoatings.com. Call them up and tell them you want it slickery.
Slickery.
Because who wouldn't?
And Utah Air Guns.
Yes.
UtahAirGuns.com.
They're in the thick of the Rocky Mountain Air Gun Challenge.
Yes.
So if you want something... There might not be. There's like probably one guy at the shop trying to hold down the fort while everyone else is running the match. But that's going to be exciting. We'll touch base with them in a couple of weeks probably.
Yeah.
And
I need to get some air in my tank.
Oh.
So I'm going to have to stop by.
Hopefully there's somebody there.
Hopefully they're still open. Someone's there. They probably have a skeleton crew over there.
I know they do. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But anyway, check them out at Utah Air Guns at utahairguns.com. Use the code AIRCANDY. You get free shipping, free turret stickers. Magholder at magholder.com. The best horizontal mag carriers out there. He's got a lot of other stuff on there too. He's doing belts and some other things. And so go check them out if you haven't been to the Magholder website in a while. And when you order, use the code GETINTHEVAN and you'll save a bunch. And last but not least, Concealment Solutions at concealmentsolutions.com. One-stop holster shop, really. It's what I've tried to build. We've got everything from ankle holsters, tactical, competition, chest holsters, off-body holsters, inside the waist, outside the waist, drop legs, everything. So go check it out. If you don't see what you're looking for, shoot me a message, email me or something, and I will get you taken care of. Use the code SHOWMETHECANDY when you check out, and you'll save a bunch of money also.
New code should be hide the candy.
That's what you said. Yeah. We'll see. I'll have to come up with a special promotion for that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let's move on into some
listener feedback. Okay, so the first one is from Aaron W. And he says, I listen to your show a lot. I was thinking about getting a Dirty 30 suppressor from Wit Machine for hunting. I know that it is probably not hearing safe, but I am more interested in taking the edge off. Not to mention, I am cheap. LOL. I was wondering if you had any experience with them, and if so, what you thought of them. And then this next one ties into that, and this one's from Harm, and he says he's referring to the previous one, saying, crazy, I was meaning to ask about Wit's suppressors. I figure if anyone has tried one, it's Taco.
Yeah.
So.
And have you?
And yes.
Okay.
So I have, let's see, I have 3 of them.
Okay.
I had 4, and I really didn't like one of them, so I traded it to Antonio at the pawn shop just for something, credit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Now, I always hesitate when, speaking ill of a company or their product, but Wit Machine. So I will just share
with that precursor.
Rocky relationship.
Let me explain. So I have used some of their muzzle brakes, and they make some really good muzzle brakes.
Okay.
Their suppressor line is interesting because they have these, it's almost like a micro suppressor.
All
the Canuter valve is, I can't remember how many baffles in it. It's like 2 or maybe 3.
That's not very many.
And it's got very little volume, capacity inside, air capacity inside the suppressor itself. And it's supposed to be supposed to make an AR-15 hearing safe and not create much back pressure because of
so it's kind of trying to be a happy medium.
Yeah, just something that you could shoot your gun with without hearing protection on. My thought on that one is that it is, and they only cost like $200. That's why people are curious.
Okay.
Like, hey, that's pretty appealing.
That is.
But by the time you add the tax stamp in, then it's $400.
Yeah.
But
if it's starting at 4 or 5 or 6, you're still adding that $200.
Yeah. Well, and so I will say that is the one I traded off to Antonio, and he just thought it'd be cool for kind of like a glorified muzzle brake.
Okay.
But I found that it was not. I don't know if technically it's hearing safe, but it didn't
wasn't comfortable.
Feel it. Yeah, so
that's what matters.
Yeah, so if I have a suppressor and it's not at least comfortable to shoot,
right, then
to me it's worthless.
Yeah.
There are purposes that would make it not worthless for other people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe if you throw it on your home defense AR-15 and you figure at least it's going to take the edge off and not totally blow out your eardrums, you know, if you have to use and it's cheap enough that,
But really, you should have something that won't wake the kids.
Well, you run one of those little 10-inch, home defense rifles, and you put something on there. It's just, even something like that. Like, most people I see when they run those 10-inch ones and they put a muzzle brake on them, I'm like, I don't like you as a person now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's miserable. But, at least something like that is not a muzzle brake, right?
Yeah, it could help tame some of that. So if you were running like an AR pistol 5.56
and you're trying to keep it light, then something like that might have,
that would be that would definitely tame some of that obnoxious,
but I'd almost say just get a 300 blackout instead.
Yeah, but it just depends on people's usage and stuff. So there was that one, and then I got 3 Dirty 30s, but then I had them make one in 9mm, so I could just use it as a dedicated 9mm can for like a SBR or PCC. And one in 30, so Dirty 30 and 30, and then a Dirty 30 and with a smaller hole for like 223 5.56.
Okay.
So the Dirty 30, it sounds okay. I think 30 cal suppresses better in general, anyways, than than like 5.56.
Okay, yeah.
But when we took, and I don't think you remember this, but when we took those the bolt action pistols out, we used one of the Dirty 30s on one of them, and you guys commented on how you didn't like that one because it didn't sound good.
Because it was too loud?
Because it was louder than all the others.
Yeah. Okay.
So what you gain with those is a small compact size and something
At
that's
a budget price.
At a budget price, and it does tame some of that loud,
So it
sound.
sounds like very much like most other situations where you're getting what you pay for.
Yeah, I think you do get what you pay for.
With the lower number of baffles, are they better on weight?
No, they're heavy.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, so there's no advantage there.
yeah,
I was gonna say, if
weight
there's
wise.
lightweight advantage, then you could
Yeah.
maybe see that. But
But with some of the newer titanium cans, they're like really light.
Yeah.
And
You're paying for it though.
but you do pay for it.
yeah.
The one problem I would say is like, I would say fit finish, that type of stuff. When I got the suppressors, more than one of them had burrs on the inside of the baffles.
Really?
Yes.
That's disappointing.
did you ever try any of the dirty 30s on like a 5.56 gun? 223 gun?
I didn't. So they're still in jail
Oh,
right now,
well,
and that was like so I've had them at the shop for multiple years, and I told Antonio he could just take them out and try them whenever he wants, right?
Right.
Gave him permission, but the reason is because I took my tax stamps that I was going to use for those, and I bought or paid for the tax stamp for more exciting suppressors that do a little bit better job. So I will get them, and I can always shoot them with Antonio, or
Right.
I am an employee there, so I can go do a range day.
Right.
But yeah, the burrs on the inside, that was a real disappointment, because if I had shot it without looking through first and deburring the inside, I could have had
A baffle strike.
I more than likely would have had a baffle strike. Maybe not, but
Huh. Okay.
I can show you guys pictures afterwards.
Okay.
But I didn't want to upload pictures on Instagram because
Right. Yeah.
kind of, maybe it was they were in a hurry to get those to me as fast as they could, and
These are for Taco. Hurry.
yeah, I got custom serial numbers, stuff. But so that's my thought on the WIT suppressors. They don't sound great.
Yeah.
They are cheap.
If you know what you're getting going into it, it's your expectations probably won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
But if you
don't expect it to sound anything like, a Dead Air or like a Silencer Co. or basically any other company that makes higher end suppressors that are larger and have more baffles, more volume,
Right.
etc.
but you're not comparing apples to apples with those.
You're
either.
not.
on any level, on price point, on quality, on fit and finish, on
Exactly.
size.
But here's the other thing too, is like, so the Dirty 30s cost, I think they're $100 more or something like that. So they're like $300 for those. I just put another suppressor on layaway at Gunny's, and they got some 9mm, what was it, Yankee Hill, kind of like a sub gun suppressor, 9mm, and it was like 300, and I don't know, it was under $400, so it's like 360, 370.
Huh.
And so if you look at the comparison between my Dirty 30 in 9mm versus that, I would take the Yankee Hill hands down every single time.
Yeah. Okay.
So
there's other stuff out there.
There's stuff out there.
That's in a comparable price range that you feel like you're getting more for your money.
You got to keep an eye out and look for good deals. And we are kind of lucky or blessed here in Utah, where we have a lot of
manufacturers here.
Well, manufacturers here, but also like dealers, like Class 3 dealers here.
Almost everybody.
So
is.
you can, if I want to look at suppressors, I could go to like, you just drive down the main State Street and there's
4
like
different shops you could go check them out at.
Yeah, or more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, you got Davidson Defense, you got the pawn shop, you got Gunnies.
What about Owls?
Ready Gunner.
I don't know.
I don't know if
I think-
Owls has done that yet, but
Yeah.
so just within a few
Get
miles.
some guns and ammos right there too.
Oh yeah, and they
Ready Gunner.
Oh, there's even guys that run FFLs out of their house that have Class 3s here.
yes.
Yeah.
So we're lucky to be able to have that, and sometimes those companies will find good deals. I think I found the best deals at Davidson Defense and Gunnies. Gunnies, they have good relationships with their distributors, and I think
They've been around longer than everybody else.
If they're closing something out, a distributor, then Gunny's is like, oh, it's on sale?
Yeah.
I'll get them.
Yeah.
That's how I got all 4 erectors.
Yeah.
I got those Q erectors on closeout from a distributor, that was going out of business or something. And then I got, this suppressor and then the OSS suppressors. I mean, all these, I have a lot of suppressors, but I've gotten a lot of them at really good prices because they're like an old model or closing out or whatever.
Or changing names.
So, yeah, just be sure to look around and see what the alternative suppressors, cost. And if you're looking for a 5.56 one, you can look at the Odin suppressor. They have like an inexpensive one. It's not that cheap, but I think it's not that much more than the Dirty 30.
Any online places that you found good deals on suppressors and stuff like that?
I think I found most of my good deals locally. Yeah, but
the problem is like the online shops, when they have good deals, it's gone.
Yeah.
True.
And
even if it even gets to the website, like, because usually most online shops, they have a brick and mortar store and they'd rather do it there, it seems like.
The other thing too is you pay shipping and you pay the transfer.
Right.
Like a lot of local, FFLs.
There's
charge
one
the transfer.
online place where you can do your paperwork and everything through them, and they'll hold it and then they ship it to your door afterwards.
Oh, interesting.
There's a few of them that have been getting. They have to go through some special permissions from the states, but I can't even remember the name of the website off the top of my head now.
Huh.
Yeah. So that's my, I would say, 10 cents about the suppressors and the, like, budget suppressors.
Yeah.
Okay, we also have one from Gary L. And he writes in and says, Jason, my daughter just picked up a gift card from Concealment Solutions for Father's Day. I'll talk to you soon.
Oh, nice. I talked to her this morning.
Oh.
Or we emailed.
Nice. Yeah. Nice.
I'm still kind of in old school mode, so I mailed her a hard copy, and she's like, hey, this is for Father's Day. I was thinking you were going to email it to me. And I went, yeah, that would have been smarter. So I emailed it.
So does that mean she has 2?
With the exact same code.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
It's like, ooh, now I got
the code.
email code?
The code only works once.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, good. I look forward to working for you.
And then Echo says, another good show, gentlemen. Thank you for sharing. And that was with the last one about Father's Day.
Oh,
ideas
okay.
And stuff. And Michael F. says, I went to NOE and said, take my money. So I think he ended up ordering some molds. And Andy79Z28 says, waiting for zinc videos on Rumble. Also have about 4,000 zinc 223 through my bolt gun at subsonic speed, no issues and very accurate.
Oh, that's good to know. So you're not the only one screwing around with zinc.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. There have been better pioneers than me. You know, I'm just trying to put some myths to rest.
Oh, okay.
Or verify that they are truths.
Yeah.
So, but Did
anybody else bite theirs and have it crackle?
No, I think I'm probably the only guy who is taking a chomp on a zinc bullet to feel that.
No,
that
I did,
crunch.
and Stan did.
Yeah, I'm talking about the content creators. But anyways, and the other thing about the zinc that I want to know is like high velocity.
Yeah.
Like subsonic, that would make sense. You can get it going, accurately. But I want to know, can you push it and have it still stay together and shoot decently accurate?
Right.
So, and then James O says, just ordered a new mold and waiting on it to get in. I think I ordered a holster for my FN45 tactical through one of you guys, and so he's probably referring to you.
I've made a few recently, so maybe. And
then he says may have to reach out for another one. So
cool.
All right. That is all for listener feedback.
All right. Are we going to move into what we did with guns?
Sure.
I'll go first. I didn't do anything.
All right.
Everybody's shocked right
Actually,
now.
I'll go next.
What?
And then we'll end with Evan.
Okay.
Okay. So I got the RT 1500. That's the Dillon trimmer.
Okay.
I got that running on my Dillon press, so I was sizing and trimming at the same time and processing some 300 blackout and 223 brass. And so I
Cool.
got a decent amount processed. Now I just need to, and so after, okay, so when you do it that way, then you have to lube the brass and then you trim it. And then to kind of do the deburring of the trimming, you know, as well as getting all the lube off, then you do a second tumble. So I did that. I did it with the stainless, what is it?
The chips we got.
Yeah,
from
the
Southern
chips.
Shine Media.
Southern Shine Media. And it
I
seemed
love
like
those. Well, I love and hate those things, I should say. But
Yeah, me too. So the reason I love it is it gets it clean and it doesn't get stuck in the primer pockets.
yeah, it's absolutely. It cleans the primer pockets out. It doesn't put any dings on the neck like my pins did. But the thing that it with the chips, because they're smaller, you stick them in your hand. Or if you got your hand or anything, they tend to stick with
Yeah.
the surface tension.
I was gonna say they stick on things,
So,
and
I was gonna say the one thing I found that really helps is to make sure you put some Dawn dish soap in there. It makes a world of difference on how well the surface tension sticks
oh, it
with
kills
a little
that.
bit of citric acid. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I tried it without dish soap once, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is a nightmare! I couldn't get it." I'm sitting there like trying to brush it off my gloves. I sat there for like 10 minutes before I just took the gloves off and said, "I whatever. I'm gonna go rinse them off with water or whatever."
Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah,
Yeah,
love this
I
stuff.
have noticed that. Well, I didn't ever tumble without it, but I have noticed that them being smaller pieces of stainless steel, you have to be careful because they will get all around. You know.
Yeah.
I do have my media separator, and I don't know if you do the same thing, but with the media separator, I fill it up with water and then kind of turn it in the media separator, and I think the water helps everything fall down.
Yeah, that's what I need to
But
do.
otherwise, they stick to like things when it's wet.
Yeah.
So
The surface tension of the water.
yeah. All right, and then I got a new holster
Oh yeah.
from Jason
Yeah.
for my. Oh, you missed out, but I got a Ruger Alaskan in 44 mag. The
Oh, nice.
revolver. Yeah,
A snubby 44 mag.
it's like, but it's not like lightweight. It's heavy.
Yes, it is.
I
So
need to get some holsters. I have a
Yeah.
bunch of guns without holsters now.
you should talk to Jason. He's the
That's
man.
like having a car without seatbelts.
I know.
Did you see our when we took our drop leg holsters?
I think you showed it to me, but I don't think I've seen like you guys using them. Or no, you had them when we
The
were out
range-
shooting last.
Yeah. Anyways,
Was that the one that he made? Was the
yeah,
drop leg?
yeah, he makes
oh, yeah.
yeah. So you should
It looked good,
Yeah.
you should check those out.
and his leg didn't fall off from lack of circulation, so you did
Yeah.
a good job.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're comfy because they move with you.
Yeah.
It is funny though when you put that 500 mag in in the drop, like your belt just
you
like
need some-
sags. Like
you need
tighten it up.
suspenders, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need like a strap that goes over the shoulder that the gun is on. But yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, okay, and then I sold a AR-15 upper to
Okay.
a coworker. He was looking for a 22 upper, and so it was a Tactical Solutions, I don't know, AR-22 upper.
Okay.
Worked great. Of all the different conversions and uppers and things, that one
There's
was
some
solid.
bad ones out
Yeah,
there.
there are some really bad ones. So that one was super solid, but
Cool.
yeah. And I loaded some more wad cutters, and I think Antonio and I are going to do a trade. I'm going to trade him some little farty 38 special wad cutters for some 44 mag ammo.
Oh, there you go.
So I don't know what the trade rate will be.
Yeah.
But he really got a kick out of those little pop gun ones.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
bet.
70, 75 grain wad cutters. So,
Nice.
and then did I talk to you about the cursed gun?
No.
Oh, that one was interesting. So while I was over at the pawn shop, he's like, "Hey, take a look at this," and it was a gun in an evidence case
Okay.
that had DNA all over it.
Like, that's not okay.
Yeah, it's not okay. Like it. So
Where did he come by it?
Well,
someone.
at Gunny's, right?
No, this one was.
This
yeah,
is at
this
the
is
pawn
at
shop.
the pawn shop.
Oh, okay.
So And I don't know what he's
What kind of gun is it?
It's a Smith & Wesson, like one of the cheaper models, the SVD or
Oh,
yeah.
Like a Sigma or something.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but it's
the one that came after it.
Yeah, the one that came after it.
Yeah.
So it's not an M&P, it's the other one, the cheaper model.
The SD9VE, I think.
Something like that. So,
okay.
I'll share a few details, but I'm pretty sure that the previous owner does not listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
But so this guy, his sister said, "Hey, I want to buy you a gun for your birthday," but she couldn't legally buy one or something, and so she gave him money. He bought the gun. Because it's his, right? His birthday present.
So not a straw purchase because he's buying it for himself.
Yes.
She gave him the money to buy himself
a gift.
gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then she tells him, "Hey, you can't have it till your birthday, and so I need to keep it at my place until your birthday." So he lets her take the gun, and then she ends up using it to commit suicide.
Oh no!
Oh jeez, yeah.
So Antonio has...
That's terrible.
Yeah. And so, obviously, like, this guy, after the police turn it back over to him, he's like, he doesn't want it.
To do with it.
Yeah. So he just took it in, like, hey, you keep this.
Oh.
So Antonio got it for, like, $100 or whatever. But what do you do with a gun like that?
Well, first thing you do is you clean it. But, yeah.
I told him it's a cursed gun.
It is.
And he can't, like...
You remember that...
You can't sell it unless you provide the disclaimer that this is a cursed gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you remember that phone I bought from you years ago that I broke, like, in 2 days?
Yes.
Which I've never broken a phone before, ever. Okay? I've cracked a couple screens, but not bad.
Yeah.
I fully believe that objects can retain energy. Negative energy, positive energy. This is the hippie in me, okay? I bought a truck, same thing. I rebuilt the engine, drove it for 2 weeks, and it blew up again. Sold it to a neighbor who put a new engine in it, sold it to another guy that I know. It blew up on him. Yeah. So I am fully... There are things out there that can carry bad juju, and that gun is going to be one of them.
Yeah.
Because of how it started.
Yeah. Would you ever buy a cursed gun?
No.
Evan, would you ever buy a cursed gun?
Depends if it's cool enough.
Like, say that gun, if you were to get it for like $100, would you buy
I don't know that I would, because
because that gun's not worth $100 even without the curse.
Right, like if it was like a Smith & Wesson 357 for $100, right? Like Performance Center one.
Yeah.
And then just, load it with 38 special soft loads. When it blows up, it doesn't kill me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it all depends, because we buy surplus stuff, right? We don't know the history behind those, but we know there's some gruesome history behind a lot of that stuff,
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Knowing the story behind that one, I take a hard pass.
Yep, I would too.
It's
definitely interesting.
Anyways, derailed that, but
yeah,
it's just kind of an interesting story, You never know, like, what used guns, their history behind the counter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know what he's gonna do with the gun. He doesn't even know what he's gonna do with the gun.
Yeah.
But we both agreed it was a cursed gun.
Oh yeah, and he's got to. First of all, he's got to clean it. You got to make it look brand new, which shouldn't be hard because it basically is a brand new gun.
Yeah.
But
anyways,
that's a terrible story. Why'd you bring us down like that?
That's why I said I would go before Evan.
Oh, okay. So we don't have to end
on what we did with guns with a depressing story of a cursed gun.
Evan, cheer us up with what you did with guns.
Well, my sister, she bought me a gun for my birthday. No. I got a CZP-01 in Urban something or other. Special name. I don't know. They don't make it anymore.
Huh.
Suppressor ready with suppressor height sights, and I haven't shot it yet. It's been sitting there.
When did you get it?
I don't even remember. I think I could have talked about it last time even. But I just I opened up my gun safe the other day and found it, and I was like, oh yeah,
huh.
I got this.
So you haven't shot it yet?
I haven't even shot it yet.
You going to?
I want to, but then it's 97 degrees outside, and that kind of kills my desire to open the front door.
Huh.
That's cool.
But I got one that's all suppressor ready, and it's in that coloration that they don't make anymore. It's the it's like kind of a dirty brown or whatever color.
You were saying though you kind of wished you would have got the P10.
I wanted the like a metal framed one, like a steel framed one, right? But they didn't have them in stock anywhere. And then of course, as soon as I bought this one, they did. That's per usual.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
So it's a polymer framed.
Yeah, it's their
PO1?
They've got like the no, it's not PO1. Sorry, I said PO1 It's a PO7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is what I got. Because they have the PO7 and they have like the P10.
You're talking about something I've never seen before, but now PO7, I got you.
Yeah, and I got that one, and I was like, oh, it's a smaller one, so I guess it'll be small, but no, it's not.
Yeah. So it's basically the same thing as the P10, but it's a hammer fire instead of a striker fire. That's the difference between.
Well, even the
PO7
P10 one
and
is bigger too. It holds like the P10 is like a 20 round mag.
The full size is I think it's 19 rounds, something like that.
Yeah, and I was originally going to get the P10, but then I saw the PO7. I'm like, it's $100 cheaper, and I don't need a 20 round mag because I'm just going to shoot it for fun. It's not like it's a.
The P10C is the sweet spot. That's the one I have.
I kind of wish I got something like that I could, have as a nightstand gun with a light and everything, because this is the only gun I've ever had that the TLR01 HL handgun light just fits on right.
Yeah.
I have a 1911 with one of those like Israeli grips.
Okay.
I don't know I can't remember the name of the company, but they make these like clamshell grips that you put on a 1911, and they have ones for the Browning High Power. They're like $20 or $30.
Huh.
And they're surprisingly really good. I put it on one of my guns, and I like it a lot for putting rails on a 1911 if you wanted to have rails on it.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
But I was worried about it because of the price, but I got them, and they've got good quality on them. And then the other thing I did is my brother built his first AR-15, and we took it out shooting. And he was really excited about that. He was able to shoot still at 100 yards standing.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He hit my target stand once. I mean, you can't go shooting without somebody hitting your target stand.
True.
Yeah.
Honestly, you just can't avoid it.
I loaned out my dueling tree, and someone shot 5.56 right at the, like they missed the paddles and hit the
stand.
Center.
Yeah, the center pole, and that's angle iron or whatever.
Yeah,
and it usually just deflects, but not if you're using like green tip or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So it has these big old like divots, almost a hole all the way through it. So I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with that, because
Just put some JB weld in there. Give it
I almost need to take it to like a welder and just have them
fill it
so that it
it
doesn't become a danger if somebody accidentally hits that spot and it deflects
have
back.
it coming back. Yeah, for sure.
But I always give the warning when I let people borrow my targets.
Yeah, but some people
223, take it out to 100 yards. But people, I guess some people don't have rangefinders. And 100 yards to one person is different than 100 yards to another person, apparently.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, even my still, I had it 100 yards, but I was shooting it with a 20-inch AR, and I put divots in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5.56, 223 is just really
you gotta
hard
put
on
your steel out there a ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this still I didn't care about, right? Like, I have my handgun still that I say this is for my handguns only, and then I have my rifle still, which I just don't ever shoot with handguns.
Yeah.
And that's how I've got to keep them separated, right?
That's not a bad way to do it.
That, and you can always do like this is your 100-yard steel, like the one that is gonna get hit with the 5.56, 223, and then after you get it, a bunch of divots in it, then you flip it over and then you got a nice flat side on the other side and repeat.
If you're lucky.
I was doing that at first, but then what ended up happening is I shot the target and it spun around.
Oh, so then you shot the backside.
So I shot the backside. I was like, well, there's the end of that story.
Yeah.
All you need to do is take out your 22 dueling tree again at 100 yards. That was fun.
That was really fun. We did it with the bolt actions, didn't we?
Suppressed bolt action 22's 100-yard dueling tree.
There's such a delay in pull the trigger, and then when the paddle flips is funny.
I'm surprised it could still flip it at 100 yards.
Yeah. It still has a decent,
Yeah.
decent amount of energy. It's just it's more like throwing a rock. You have a little bit of arc to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like basically how you drop the hammer and then you put in a new round, hope that you
and wait
hit
for the hit.
Because we were shooting subsonic 22s.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, that
nice
was-
and quiet, so you could hear it hit the steel, and
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Very
we'll have to
cool.
do that again.
Oh, that was my
The old man cracking. So,
Anything else before we move on, Evan?
I think that's all I accomplished. I've been pretty lazy. I haven't even done any loading.
Nice. All right. Well, I have a news story that I think is pretty darn interesting. So, it starts, a female attendee of an outdoor party in West Virginia fatally shot a gunman who opened fire into a crowd of guests on Wednesday. She fatally shot the perpetrator, identified as Dennis Butler, after he began shooting at dozens of people gathered for a birthday graduation party outside an apartment complex in Charleston. Instead of running from the threat, she engaged with the threat and saved several lives last night, said the chief of detectives.
ooh.
Authorities said Butler had driven around the apartment building earlier in the evening and was told to slow down because children were playing. He left, returned later, parked in front of the complex, and started shooting at people, they said. No charges have been filed against the woman who intervened, obviously. There's other accounts that I read. The guy was a felon. He was using an AR-15 that he had stolen, and nobody was injured except for him.
That is a good turn. That's a
Yeah.
good result.
Yeah, so the story goes on a little bit, but it veers from this encounter. It says the woman's confrontation with the gunman comes amid a politically charged national conversation surrounding mass shootings, two of which shocked the nation this month. On Tuesday, an 18-year-old entered an elementary school in Texas. 19 kids and 2 teachers were killed there. I think most of us are aware of that. Earlier in May, a gunman stormed a supermarket in a black neighborhood. Apparently this one was racially motivated and killed 10 people and wounding 3. It says a bipartisan group of senators is currently negotiating legislation in response to the shootings in the 2 mass shootings. The proposals that have been floated include expanded background checks, which is always comes up, and I don't even understand, what does that even mean?
What they want to do is, you know how I can let you borrow a gun?
Yeah.
They want to make that so you can't.
What's that got to do with background checks?
Because then you have to require background checks in Washington State, they changed the law so that in order, private transfers and stuff, require a background check.
Okay.
But then it's kind of an unenforceable thing.
In California is that way too.
Because how do you know if someone
right and
let someone borrow it?
And how would that have stopped this guy?
It wouldn't.
Any of these.
That's the thing, is none of those gun control measures would fix or prevent.
Right.
So
The biggest depressing thing for me is that we have one of our senators signing off on that.
Right.
I know. That guy, man. We need to get rid of him.
Which one are we talking about?
Romney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who is not really a Utah
he's not really
guy.
and he's not really a Republican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really represent the people.
No.
He's the most Republican Democrat we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a couple other things here. They said funding and this is other things that they're talking about, these senators. Funding and resources for enhanced security in schools, which we've all been saying we need. Red flag gun laws, which aim to confiscate firearms from individuals who are deemed dangerous. Who gets to deem who is dangerous and who isn't? That's the scary part of that.
Evan dangerous, and I'm going to go get his guns.
Okay, can I come?
Yeah.
Because I think he's dangerous too.
We'll split him.
The good news is I don't have any ammo, so I can't stop you.
Nice.
Too lazy to load right now.
Here's the thing that I find the most frustrating with this, and I've been thinking about this a lot. This story is like, if it was still print, right? If we were still looking at printed newspapers and stuff, this would be back page. Easy.
Yeah.
Where these others, the tragic stuff, the horrific stuff, is front page news. And what that does is it sends a message to our society. One, I mean, we know that the people making the news, and I specifically use the term making the news, are spinning things the way they want, and they're telling what they want because of their agenda. And it doesn't matter what side of the fence they're on. They're both sides are doing that to some degree. But what it tells society, and when we're talking about disturbed people that are doing these mass shootings and stuff, what are they seeing? Oh man, I'm disturbed enough that I want to go down in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, I can become famous.
Yeah. Even if it's for a minute. I don't care, my life sucks. This is how I want to go out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna become famous. The other story, this woman should be in D.C. right now receiving a medal.
Yeah.
You know?
Stopping a mass shooting.
Yeah, she absolutely did. And it's back page news that nobody cares about. Whereas those stories happen often. I mean, we talk about them all the time.
Yeah.
And I know our listeners...
Like every episode we have like a self-defense in the news.
Whether we talk about it or not, because sometimes we forget about it.
Yeah.
But there's always news stories. If those were front page news, I think things would be different. I think society would react a little bit differently. And I think some of these crazy people that want to go down in a blaze of glory would look at it and go, oh, well, maybe that isn't such a good idea. As soon as I draw my gun, somebody shoots me in the face. you know? No one's going to remember you for that, and no one's going to care. But I think that our media is, in large part, responsible.
Oh, yeah.
For a lot of this stuff.
Well, they immortalize the shooters instead of the heroes.
Yeah.
Right.
And they read their manifestos and deep dive into why are they the way they are, you know. And basically,
everybody knows about the person inside and out, their lives.
They're turning the bad guys into the heroes, and the real heroes out there get ignored.
Mm-hmm.
Back page.
And it's sad. But I think that's part of the bigger problem, you know, with our society right now, is that's what we're focusing on. That's what people are going to see, and it's no wonder there's so many people that are like, well, guns are bad and evil, and there's all these mass shootings all the time, and so many people are dying, and when they don't see, unless you go look for it, all the stories like this, and this one is an exception.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the self-defense shootings are one-on-one or something like that. You know, you're defending yourself or your family. But
well, and there was that one church shooting in Texas. Where he did kill a few people.
I think he killed 2 people.
But
before the guy showed up with his AR.
No, this was
one of the
security guy for the church, and he had.
Oh yeah.
He had his pistol drawn.
It was fast.
But he didn't have a clean shot. And he waited, I don't know how many seconds, it wasn't very long before he had a clean shot.
The gunman shot the 2 people at the front door.
Yeah.
Like they have what is it, the ushers or the concierge
right
at the front.
Yeah.
And I think those were the only 2 that died.
Yeah.
Besides the shooter.
Yeah. But anyway, that was a great story, and to prove my point, and maybe the woman didn't want to be named, but she was named in some of the other, and I didn't write it down, but the guy with the AR trying to kill everybody, his name's in here and hers isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, and the gun nerd in me is like, I wonder what she used.
Yeah.
What gun? What load? What?
And this, believe it or not, this was an NBC report.
Oh, interesting. So they did cover it.
They did. Much later.
Back page.
back page and days after it happened.
Yeah.
You know, whereas... Yeah, it doesn't make sense why our culture, our American culture, is largely based on hero worship. If you look at the movies we go to and the media and everything, everybody wants to be the hero. Why aren't we celebrating the heroes in real life instead of making the bad guys our heroes? Yeah. So anyway,
it's a little disappointing.
It is,
man. Now we're all... This is like a depressed episode.
Well, that's why on the bright side, I want to raise my kids and let them have fun shooting guns in the backyard. You know, I've got a 3-year-old son, and we recently took him out shooting. I let him shoot the 300 Blackout with close supervision. And, you know, we had an entire mountainside, but he just had a heck of a fun time because... we put a water bottle like 2 feet away, and he shot it, and it just explodes all over him, and he's having a blast with it, right? And so letting them see, the kids see that firearms are dangerous, but you can still have fun with them if you treat them with the proper respect.
Well,
Yeah.
and there's a taking kids shooting has a very powerful effect on them of helping them to understand that there is a destructive power and that you do need to be careful with them. It takes away the curiosity and the mystique.
Yeah.
My guns are always locked up. If it's not on me, it's locked up. But at the same time, my kids, they're not even interested. I mean, they want to go shooting, but if we're not going out shooting, they couldn't care less about the guns.
Yeah, there's no difference between a gun and a stapler.
Yeah,
it's like just a tool.
It's a tool,
and
yeah, and I do have, I've got teenagers and stuff, and I do worry about, somebody having a depression episode or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not that any of my kids suffer from that, but it's a concern. I don't want to leave something accessible when somebody's having a dramatic day.
Yeah,
for sure, but.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, and I was gonna say one thing that people can do. If you're a gun guy, go ahead and volunteer. Volunteer in your church. And if you're not religious, volunteer in the community. There, still exists the Boy Scouts.
Yep. There's a lot of community
the 4-H
programs.
Yeah, you can do shooting activities in 4-H.
Volunteer at your local shooting range.
Yeah.
It's like even in groups outside of shooting, like if you're into ham radios or whatever, you can talk to people. Anybody who's got like a emergency preparedness mindset. Because there's a lot of people I've talked to about who they'll stock up on food and toilet paper and all this other stuff, but they don't ever have any firearms. I'm like, well, what happens if somebody wants what you have and they have a firearm?
Yeah.
It's like you got to make a decision at that point. You're either going to die for it or you're going to lose it, right?
Yeah.
And so part of the emergency preparedness is you've got to prepare for what people are willing to do to take what you have.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And most people, when I talk to them about it, they haven't ever thought about that because they think, oh, this is mine, and people aren't going to take what's mine. It's like, well, if you look at any of the emergency situations,
that's exactly what happens.
That's exactly what happens.
When people get hungry,
Yep.
they get crazy.
When people become desperate, anything can happen. And it doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're the clergy at your church. You get desperate, you do things you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah.
And that's the scary fact about it. And preparedness is exactly the reason I got into guns.
Yeah.
That was the sole purpose. And then, as you get into it and you start shooting and stuff, it's like, well, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now I need this and that and the other and some fun stuff. And,
and also, take a neighbor under the wing, like someone who has never shot guns before. We actually have an interesting situation here in Utah that we have kind of a lot of people moving in from out of state.
Not kind of.
And I would say a large portion of those people are from California.
Yeah, a lot of them.
And so these people come here and they have, some of them are just, they bring that California mentality. Others, they have this newfound freedom and they're like, oh, I can buy a gun.
Yeah.
And they want to. And so they need help picking out a gun and learning some safety and
understanding the responsibility that comes with it.
Yeah.
Because that's the scary part is with a new gun owner.
Taking them under your wing and go shooting with them and just kindly, explain the rules of gun safety and then remind them when they break those rules because more than likely if they're a new gun owner, they're going to break those rules at some point. And
I had an interesting conversation along these lines with a customer a couple of weeks ago. He was telling me he has a daughter-in-law, and I can't remember where she's from, but it's like a little island somewhere is what I'm remembering. Culture there is totally different, and it sounds like it's kind of a violent culture. Like her brother or cousin or somebody made a slight comment to somebody about somebody's relative, took a machete to the head for it.
Oh, jeez.
he's okay.
Oh, he's still alive.
I don't know how, but yeah, apparently he's survived it, and that's not uncommon. That's just kind of how they settle disputes where she's from.
Oh, jeez.
But anyway, so his son's got guns and everything, and they're talking about it one day, they're putting scenarios in front of her, and like, what happens to this? Somebody's stealing stuff out of your car. Well, you just shoot them. He's like, no, you can't. Her answer was just shoot them for everything. And it was like, no, you can't just shoot people when they're doing things you don't like. And she was trying to get her to understand our culture, even though we have a gun culture,
the legal ramifications.
And that's an extreme example, but it's people need to be educated and understanding, and take people shooting. And the air guns are an excellent gateway tool.
I would say silencers are also.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same effect.
Yeah.
Is that it cuts the recoil and the concussion.
Yeah.
The concussive blast of a.
Right.
AR-15s are just loud.
They are.
Like, yeah.
I took my so I have a 20-inch AR with an A5 buffer system and a rifle-length gas system and a suppressor on it. And when I shoot that gun, it's like shooting a 22. I don't think you've shot that one yet, but it is a dream.
You'll have to bring it next time we go. But what kind of barrel is it? Is it the Faxon?
It's a Faxon match fluted.
Oh,
it's like my fourth barrel. I finally felt so bad that I stopped asking them. But I mean, that's a whole nother story. I don't know if we have time to go into it.
Yeah, no, we're just about out of time. So.
Yep, just about out of time. Anyway, I think we are out of time.
We are out of time, actually.
That's about all I have to talk about.
So, anyways, take somebody shooting.
Yeah, introduce people to it and educate them.
Take a low recoil gun and some water jugs.
Yes, and steel plates.
Yep. All right, we'll catch you next week. There's ghosts. Your house has bad juju.
That's some electronic device in the background just going crazy.
Yeah.